There is a big mystery in Peppa Pig that to this day has not been solved, and I'm talking about the mystery of the dads who disappeared. If you look at the characters' families, they always have a mom, but the only member that sometimes is missing is the father figure. It even seems like the males are given less importance than the females. Mommy Pig's parents do appear on screen, but Daddy Pig's parents are never seen. But wait! This mystery goes even further, and it all starts with Suzy Sheep. Suzy is Peppa Pig's best friend. We've seen her since the beginning and in many episodes, but besides knowing everything she does and who she hangs out with, we also know her family very well. Or maybe not. To begin with, we have Mama Sheep. We've also seen Grandma Sheep, and we even know her older cousin, Charlotte Sheep. But where the heck is Suzy's dad? We don't see him at her house. He doesn't show up at family gatherings, and they don't even want to show him in photos. Nothing. Did he die? Did he abandon Suzy when she was a baby, or does he simply not exist? Guys, the thing is that officially, he does exist, and he is recognized as part of Suzy's family. So, why the hell doesn't he show up? Well, guys, I think I found the answer. In the episode Dance Party on the Bus, Peppa tells Suzy, "If you stand on Daddy's feet, you don't need to know how to dance." But then Suzy thinks for a moment and replies, "But..." And right there she gets interrupted and the sentence is cut off. Like, why? Was this intentional? The most logical sentence would have been, "But I don't have a dad." What drives everyone crazy is that the show doesn't even confirm anything about Suzy's dad. And the weirdest thing is that within the world of Peppa Pig, nobody seems to notice anything. Nobody asks Suzy about her dad. But things get even worse, because it's not just Suzy's dad, but also Suzy's grandpa. As we know, Grandma Sheep does appear in the episodes. But what about Grandpa Sheep? We don't have any information about this grandpa either. In fact, what many people think is that her grandpa simply passed away. Unless there's an even darker explanation. And what about Charlotte Sheep? Charlotte is Suzy's older cousin. She's about 17 years old. She's more independent, mature, and when she shows up, it feels like someone who no longer belongs to the group of little kids. Uncle Sheep and Aunt Sheep are recognized as her parents, but the funny thing is that we never see them in any episode. Charlotte just shows up alone, and maybe we would think, well, Charlotte is already 17 years old, maybe she doesn't need her parents following her around. But do they never go to visit her? It's not like Charlotte is already an adult either. I don't know, guys. And this is just the first case. The next character is Belinda Bear. Belinda isn't a character who just appeared once and that's it. She's been in the series for quite a while. We know that she's a bit older, more mature, and we even know her mom. But what about her dad? Unlike Suzy, whom we don't see even once, we do see Belinda's dad, but only once. Just once in the whole series, and the worst part is, he doesn't even appear doing anything important. The man just appears sitting at a table eating oatmeal, like he's just a simple NPC. So he showed up, ate oatmeal, and left forever. Even so, the strangest thing is that after that disappearance, Belinda kept appearing in the episodes like nothing happened, and she never mentioned anything about her dad. So, what's going on with the fathers in this universe? Are they really so irresponsible that they abandon their children? Someone give us an explanation. But at least with Belinda, we could say it was just a simple coincidence. But actually, it wasn't. Because something very similar happens with Mandy Mouse. Mandy is also part of Peppa Pig's group. We've seen her a few times playing with the others. And guess what? Exactly! We also only know her mom. And of course we have the usual question. What happened to her dad? Well, in Mr. Mouse's defense, things are a little different here. Because Mandy's dad isn't completely missing. He does show up in some episodes, but he appears very rarely. And he seems to be Mandy and her mom's servant. Guys, this man doesn't even have any character development. He doesn't have any important moments with Mandy. And he doesn't even feel like someone who's part of her family. And this is where we realize that male characters aren't very important in Peppa Pig. And the mystery continues with Simon the Squirrel. In his case, it's not just his dad or his grandfather who's missing. Actually, it seems like Simon's whole family doesn't exist. It's as if he's a poor orphan child without a home. Simon is not an invisible character. We've seen him many times. He interacts with other children, and he is clearly part of the world of Peppa Pig. But when you start to wonder about his family, that's when things get really dark. First of all, we never see his mom, one of the most important characters in the world of Peppa Pig. And obviously, if the mom doesn't show up, we're even less likely to see the dad. In fact, there isn't even a house that we can identify as Simon's house. Does Simon live on the street or something? In fact, some fans have tried to connect Simon with a police squirrel, as if maybe she could be his mom. But nothing is confirmed, and we don't even ask about his dad, because up to this point it seems like Simon's dad wasn't even written. So, where did this kid come from? Who takes care of him? Or how the heck does he survive? But if you thought this only happened with secondary characters, well, no. Now it's time to talk about the case of Daddy Pig's dad. As we know, Papa Cerdito is one of the most important characters in the series, so where the heck are his parents? And once again, friends, we have Mama Pig's parents, who appear all the time taking care of Peppa and George and doing activities with them. But what about Papa Cerdito? Papa Cerdito must have parents, because we also know he has a brother, better known as Uncle Cerdito. But it seemed that Papa Cerdito's family is not that important. The most curious thing is that Peppa never asks about her dad's parents. George doesn't either. Mommy Pig doesn't mention her in-laws, and poor Daddy Pig doesn't talk about his childhood, his family, or even his parents. So in the end, it seems that the world of Peppa Pig actually erases men or the men's families. But why? Well, friends, now I want to know what you think. Did Daddy Pig really forget about his parents completely? Or is there actually something strange going on throughout the whole series? We'll be reading your comments.